No importa lo lento que pueda ser el camino, mientras no te detengas en lograr quien quieres ser. A lo largo de esta pandemia, todos aprendimos nuevas formas de vivir, de ser y de trabajar. Sin duda, un desafío retador, pero también una oportunidad de aprender a mantenernos cerca de ti, porque lograr tu sueño de estudiar en Canadá también es nuestro sueño. Los retos de la vida no están ahí para paralizarte, sino para ayudarte a descubrir quién eres. En Canadá, ahora el futuro es más claro. Poco a poco la normalidad está de vuelta. Canadá te necesita para participar en su sistema educativo, laboral y para que seas parte de su economía. Vuelve a inspirarte en tu sueño de estudiar, trabajar y quedarte a vivir en Canadá. No olvides lo aprendido, solo hay un hoy. Todo empieza aquí y ahora. Hazlo con Class Education.
Hola, buenas noches. Buenas noches, audiencia de Class Education. Bienvenidos a un webinar más, como toda semana, de Class Education, cuya intención siempre es traerles la mejor información a sus manos para ti que tienes ese gran proyecto de estudiar en Canadá, de trabajar en Canadá, inclusive hasta de vivir en Canadá. Gracias por registrarte, gracias por estar con nosotros esta noche. Mi nombre es Juan Carlos Alderete. Estamos transmitiendo, a diferencia de los webinars de todas las semanas, desde San Luis Potosí, oficina Class Education en San Luis Potosí, y en ausencia del presidente de Class Education, Bruno Perron, que por lo general transmite desde Vancouver, pero en esta semana no puede hacerlo. Viaje de trabajo, Montreal, todo es Canadá, Canadá, Canadá. Entonces, es un honor para mí compartir esta noche con ustedes la información que estamos a punto de brindarles. Les recuerdo que estamos transmitiendo en diferentes plataformas que posiblemente ya conocen: Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. Si no nos siguen en alguna de ellas, háganlo, no se pierdan nuestro contenido, es muy valioso. Y por favor, no olviden poner por ahí una carita, un emoji, un corazoncito si nos ves con frecuencia, o una carita si es una carita sonriente, por si es la primera vez que nos ves. Dale like y compartir. Y por favor, mándenos un saludo. Nos gustaría saber desde dónde nos visitan, desde dónde nos están viendo, qué estado de la República o qué país de América Latina nos están viendo, y con gusto nos pondremos en contacto. Ahorita les platico acerca de un formato que va a estar ahí en nuestro chat, donde van a mandar sus preguntas y nuestro equipo de asesores de Class Education va a estar respondiendo a prácticamente todas las preguntas y les estará brindando este formato. Ahorita les platico. Para los que no nos conocen, les informo, y para los que ya nos conocen, pues les recuerdo quién es Class Education. Somos expertos en consultoría educativa principalmente para estudiar, obviamente, en el extranjero, principalmente Canadá. Programas como idiomas, high school, campamentos de verano, que por cierto ayer tuvimos un webinar muy bueno donde platicamos de los programas de verano y de high school. Estudios en educación superior, que es de lo que vamos a hablar el día de hoy, educación pública en Canadá y todos los beneficios que trae, MBAs, licenciaturas, certificados, diploma, todo lo que involucra lo que es la educación superior en Canadá. Somos orgullosamente canadienses, la empresa es orgullosamente canadiense, con 27 años de experiencia ya, lo cual dice mucho. Somos número 1 en educación superior en Canadá. Todo lo que es asesoría, todo lo que es tramitología, somos los número 1. Y este punto es muy importante, afiliados y certificados por organismos reguladores internacionales. Quizás no los conocen, pero este punto es importante ya que por muchas asesorías que hemos dado, muchas de ellas los últimos años de manera virtual, la gente se pregunta acerca de la existencia de Class Education. Todos estos organismos que aparecen en la parte baja de su pantalla nos avalan. Y hay muchas empresas que tienen pocas certificaciones, no todas tienen las que tenemos nosotros, y nos enorgullece saber que somos parte de la Cámara de Comercio Canadiense aquí en México y trabajamos hombro con hombro con la Embajada de Canadá para todos estos trámites, nos asesoran en el tema de visado, todas las actualizaciones. Entonces, Class Education estamos al día en toda la información que involucra partir a Canadá. Brindamos consultoría educativa, todo lo que tenga que ver con la inscripción del college, el cual decidirlo no es fácil, para eso estamos nosotros. Nos hacemos cargo de su seguro médico, de su alojamiento si es que lo necesitan, su trámite de visa de estudios, traducción de documentos que se necesiten, hasta de recibirlos en el aeropuerto si así lo desean. Somos una empresa all inclusive, lo cual es muy conveniente para quien tiene un proyecto de este tamaño. Ya habían puesto la diapositiva por ahí del formato que les platicaba. Van a hacer preguntas. Discúlpenos de antemano si no podemos contestar todas con la profundidad que desearíamos, disculpen. Pero para eso nuestros asesores les van a estar poniendo un enlace en donde los va a llevar a un formato que es este. Ponen por favor sus datos y nosotros los contactamos. Hacerlo en vivo a todas las personas, sí lo intentamos, pero no puede ser que no todos tengan toda la información que necesitan, pero para eso es este formulario. Les contactamos, los asesoramos, les contestamos todas sus preguntas y nos vamos a Canadá. ¿Ok? Entonces, el enlace se los van a estar mandando y también lo van a ver aquí en la parte baja de la plataforma en donde estén viéndolo. Muy bien, el día de hoy vamos a estar hablando de un college público, como ya les mencioné, college que ofrece programas de educación superior, y voy a dar los 7 puntos de clase por los cuales Loyalist College es una excelente opción para ustedes. Loyalist College es una institución pública ubicada en Belleville, Ontario, Canadá. Esto es 2 horas y media de Toronto, de la ciudad de Toronto. El punto número 2. Es la única institución de educación superior en Belleville, por lo que la competencia laboral es mínima. Su metodología de trabajo, de estudio es hands-on, 40% teórico, 60% práctico. Esto hace que cuando egrese un estudiante ya sepa hacer el trabajo. El número 3. El 88% de sus egresados consigue empleo en los primeros 6 meses posteriores a la graduación. Es un porcentaje altísimo, lo cual nos debe dar seguridad de que empleo sí podemos conseguir cuando salimos del Loyalist College. El número 4. ¿Qué tipo de programas? Certificados de 1 año, diplomas de 2, licenciaturas 3 hasta 4 años. Todo este tipo de programas podemos encontrar en Belleville. El número 5. ¿Qué áreas de estudio? Áreas como biociencias, ciencias de la construcción, servicio a la comunidad, ingeniería, salud y bienestar, tecnologías de información, estudios de medios, seguridad pública, oficios, son los programas que puedes estudiar en Loyalist. Y como dato, un salario mínimo para un recién egresado va desde los $35,000 a los $45,000 al año, lo cual es muy atractivo para cualquiera. Número 6, provincia nominada para el programa piloto de Migración Express. ¿Sí? Hay facilidades para recibir una residencia canadiense. El costo de vida es 40% más bajo aquí que en Vancouver, inclusive que Toronto. Número 7, programas 100% elegibles para el Postgraduate Work Permit, que es el permiso de trabajo, el famosísimo permiso de trabajo por el que para muchos Canadá es altamente atractivo. Permiso de trabajo que se da hasta por 3 años, dependiendo del programa que hayan estudiado. Esos son los 7 puntos que veremos el día de hoy, que deben de tener en mente cuando estemos hablando en la siguiente hora y cachito, acerca del Loyalist College. Es una gran institución, como decía, unas 2 horas y media de Toronto. Y quisiera preguntarles, si les pregunté de dónde nos están viendo, me gustaría entonces pasar a presentar a Darcy Dornan, quien es el gerente de admisiones, de reclutamiento del Loyalist College, ahí en Belleville, Canadá. Belleville, Ontario. Él va a estar con nosotros en la siguiente hora hablando de programas, costos, requisitos, facilidades para estudiar en Belleville. Por favor, tomen notas, hagan preguntas, hagan todas las preguntas posibles. Nuestro equipo va a estar contestando. Vamos a pasar algunas preguntas al aire y las vamos a contestar al aire. Entonces, eso les va a ayudar mucho. Tomen fotos de los programas porque luego al final quieren retomar sus preguntas acerca de los programas que quieren y ya teniendo la foto pueden hacer una pregunta que puede ir al aire y les facilite a ustedes pues tener la información que requieren para estudiar en Canadá. Nuestro equipo de trabajo está ya contestando preguntas. Estoy viendo que ya están entrando las preguntas, están entrando comentarios en las diferentes plataformas. Si no nos siguen todavía, háganlo. Les recuerdo LinkedIn, Facebook y YouTube. Formulario también. Muy bien, ya tenemos a Darcy en la pantalla. Darcy, ¿cómo estás? Buenas noches.
Buenas noches, bonsoir, and hello to you, Juan Carlos, Class Education. Thank you to everyone who is here with us, also from Mexico, from throughout Latin America. It's a pleasure to be here.
It is a pleasure for us
Juan
as
Carlos,
well,
would you
Darcy,
like me to continue?
To have you with us again. Sorry about that. We may have a delay, but no worries. Thank you for joining us again. It's been quite a while since we had you last time. I believe it was nearly a year since we had our last webinar, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And in that year, of course, we've moved forward more to coming to what we hope is the tail end of the pandemic. We're welcoming more and more international students from Mexico and from all throughout Latin America and the world. And Canada, as you may know, received a record number of international students last year, and we're looking towards doing the same in 2022.
That is great news, Darcy. That is great news. We have so many anecdotes, so many stories about different people that decided to go to Canada while the pandemic and nowadays, and we have a lot of stories to share because these stories might encourage people to just make the decision and go. And Loyalist College is a great option to study in Canada and to live in Canada. Well, that's Belleville. You don't live in Loyalist, but it's great to have you back. Let me translate a little bit for our Spanish-speaking audience. Audiencia, como pueden ver, el webinar va a ser en inglés para que fluya mejor. Sin embargo, me voy a detener de vez en vez para traducir puntos importantes de los que Darcy también me va a ayudar. Y ustedes puedan tomar notas y no pasen mucho tiempo sin entender o preguntando. Yo voy a estar traduciendo las notas más relevantes para ustedes y puedan hacer aún mejores preguntas. Okay, Darcy, how's your Spanish nowadays? Last year you were learning. You had great Portuguese, but how's your Spanish?
Last year I was learning better before the pandemic. Coming to Mexico and traveling throughout Latin America before the pandemic. So I must admit that my Spanish is taking a little bit of a hit because I'm not using it so much. Although I still have been spending quite a bit of time in Latin America, but mostly in Portuguese-speaking Brazil. So let's say that my Portuñol is still quite good.
Yeah, well, that's great. We understand Portuñol. So if you feel like you need to say something in Portuñol, just go ahead and do it, okay? All right.
Sounds good.
Okay, so what do you say we start talking about your college?
Sounds good. I will share the screen with you and with everybody now, and hopefully you can all see it. So our digital presentation of Loyalist College. Is that coming through, Juan Carlos?
Yes, I'm able to see it. Let me check. Yeah, it's up. So
okay. For some reason, it doesn't. Okay, there we go. Now I'm into presentation mode. So again, Juan Carlos, thank you for the opportunity to be coming back and presenting here with you and class education again. Let's see if the presentation comes up in presentation mode.
Thank you for coming back, Darcy.
Let's see. Are you seeing anything now? Yeah.
It's all dark now.
Let me stay in this mode just to make it easier. It looks like we might be having some IT issues, but in this first slide, you can see already a welcome to Loyalist College, our location in the small city of Belleville in Ontario, Canada. A little aerial shot of some of the campus, and let me tell you a little bit, of course, about Loyalist College. We're a small campus with about 3,500 students, but as you were already noting, Juan Carlos, some of the advantages, of course, of being a small campus in a small city are the fact that you don't have a big deal of competition for jobs while you're studying and able to work in Canada, but also upon graduation, when we know that you're going to be looking and wanting to get that first job, hopefully with the postgraduate work permit. And so being small, of course, has its advantages. And one of those other aspects that you mentioned, Juan Carlos, was the fact that, this particular location, although we're not far from the big city of Toronto, nor the capital of Ottawa, we benefit from a very nice level of lower cost of living. And so, while you may pay, a certain amount for lodging and food and transportation in the city of Toronto, in Belleville, we have a lower cost of living. that is also attractive for a lot of students around the world. And aside, of course, from things like that, you can see the location. This is the bicycle trail coming into campus. These are some of the student residences, but you can see that we're surrounded by trees, by woodlands, and of course, you will see in the next slide by the coast. We're located on the Bay of Quinte. This is the city of Belleville, a population of about 50,000 people. And you can see here, some other reasons why you may be interested in coming to a smaller city as opposed to a bigger city. We're a friendly community, a small community, easy to get around by car, bicycle, public transportation, and again, a lot of easy access to nature, to those jobs about which I was talking to, and a very easy place for international students to adapt to.
Darcy.
Juan Carlos, I don't know if you've ever been to this part of Canada.
Actually, I've never been. I've been to Toronto. I've been to Thousand Islands, which is pretty close from there, but not to Belleville. But I understand.
Exactly.
Yes. I've heard from other people that it's a very safe place, very beautiful place, and the fact that it's close to Toronto, but it's not Toronto, makes it a lower cost of living, which is very attractive for the people that is looking for a project like this.
Yes, exactly. And as you're saying, the proximity to Toronto, as you were probably driving by or taking the train, is exactly one of the selling points. We're far enough away from Toronto to have an interesting decrease in the cost of living, but we're close enough, 2 hours driving from Toronto, to make it worthwhile if you want to go to Toronto for, to do some shopping, to see a show. If you've got friends and family in Toronto or the area as well, it's close. It's easy to get to. For example, a lot of students will fly to the international airport in Toronto, and from there you can take a bus to Belleville. You can take the train also out to Belleville or driving. So again, very easy and conveniently located.
So there's a train from Belleville into Toronto?
Yes, exactly. Yes, from Toronto to Belleville.
How much does that cost? Do you happen to know how much that may cost?
I don't off the top of my head, only because, in fact, I'm not taking the train that frequently, but also because there are different costs for students and for people like me, right? Business travelers. So, there's a range of costs. One thing to note is that for example, if you purchase train tickets on Tuesdays, Tuesdays come with a 20% discount. And again, remember that students have preferential costs on public transportation throughout Canada, whether it's the train, but also other public forms of transportation.
Okay, correct. I ask you this because sometimes people ask about this services costs and it's important for them. But I mean, being so close to Toronto, I mean, you can go to Toronto in a weekend and then come back for next Monday to school, and it's as easy as that.
Exactly.
Let me. Can you please repeat, Darcy, about the inhabitants in Belleville?
Yes, yes. It's a population of approximately 50,000 people.
50,000 people.
Yes, so it's it's small enough to again keep the convenience, like you're saying, the low rate of crime, no traffic, what to speak of, these kinds of things, but big enough so that we have everything that you're interested in doing, right? From going to restaurants to, a shopping mall, to the cinema, to music venues, library, theater, fitness and sports facilities. It's an administrative hub for the region. So it's a small city, yet again, vibrant enough to have everything that a student could want to do, of course, including pubs and bars and discotheques and those kinds of things as well.
That's enough. That should be enough, Darcy. Let me just translate that for our friends that are listening or watching us. Como pudieron entender muchos de ustedes, para los que no les traduzco, es una ciudad muy chiquita, muy pequeña, con alrededor de 50,000 habitantes. No mucho lo que estamos acostumbrados acá en México con estas ciudades tan grandes, pero esto es precisamente una de las ventajas de estudiar en Belleville. Seguridad, tranquilidad, nada de tráfico, varias maneras de transportarse en la ciudad, sobre todo para la gente. Muchas veces la gente pregunta, ¿cuáles son mis oportunidades laborales al llegar a Canadá y cuáles son mis oportunidades laborales saliendo del programa, una vez egrese del programa? Altísimas, 88%, como vimos hace rato en uno de los puntos, pero durante el estudio, que tienen oportunidad también de trabajar, también es alta la oportunidad de encontrar trabajo. ¿Por qué? Porque es una ciudad chica, negocios hay por todos lados. Esta es una ciudad que tiene todo para divertirse, para trabajar, para estudiar, tiene de todo, chiquita, pero muy completa. Entonces, esa es una de las grandes ventajas que tiene Belleville, la baja población, pero que hay oportunidades laborales para todo, durante el estudio y una vez habiendo egresado del estudio. Además que está en una zona boscosa, frente a una bahía, panorama canadienses al por mayor, a 2 horas de la ciudad de Toronto, a la cual pueden llegar en autobús, manejando o en tren un fin de semana sin problema. Pueden tener un fin de semana vibrante en Toronto, pero si se quedan en Belleville también hay mucho que hacer. Entonces, de entrada, geográficamente, Belleville es uno de los colleges que ofrecen muchísimas oportunidades laborales y obviamente académicas. Thank you, Darcy.
Sure, thank you. Thank you, Juan Carlos. You certainly speak Spanish much better than I do, so...
I try. Maybe I try to do my best.
Excellent. Well, as you could see here, I was scrolling through quickly some of the other slides that highlight different aspects of, student services, student life, sports, and athletic opportunities. To arrive here to the on-campus residences, because this is, of course, something that may be of interest for you coming to study in Canada at Loyalist College, to know that we have student residences right conveniently located on campus. We have the apartment style over here in the upper right-hand image, the townhouses here in the lower left-hand image. These are residences, again, that are just minutes away walking to campus, that give you access to a big student residence center. The residences come fully furnished with your own private individual room, and then shared access to a kitchen and dining, living room, 2 washrooms, laundry facilities, all of these kinds of things. And we are currently offering to our international students some on-campus residence scholarships to entice you to start your living on campus, because we know that it's a good way for you when you're coming from another country to a place that you don't know, to land and to live, to feel comfortable, to make new friends with other students quickly. And of course, being on campus makes it super convenient, because you don't have to take a bus to school, you don't have to take a car, you're very conveniently located to walk out of your apartment and walk onto campus in just minutes.
Correct. Lo que Darcy nos está hablando ahora es acerca de las opciones de residencia, de vivir como estudiante dentro de las instalaciones de Loyalist College, en donde tienen pues obviamente estos edificios, townhouses, como le llaman, en donde los estudiantes viven dentro del campus, lo cual es muy conveniente porque no tienen que gastar en transporte, llegan a minutos caminando a su edificio donde tengan clases. Es una excelente manera para conocer gente de manera rápida. Es un ambiente increíble, no lo he vivido, pero tenemos estudiantes que sí, y sí es un ambiente increíble el que se da dentro de este tipo de alojamientos que ofrece el college. Tienen muchos beneficios, como lo es el que mencioné del transporte, pero también tienen costos muy atractivos para todo aquel estudiante que decide vivir al menos el primer año en Loyalist College.
Exactly. And, aside from all of that, Juan Carlos, of course, know that our residents support staff and team put together all kinds of different activities for all students, Canadian and international alike. And so you can see some of those on these slides. And we actually have international students who work in the Student Residence Center as well as one of the several types of student job opportunities that exist on campus. And Fernando from Mexico is one of those students working on campus in our student residence at the moment. And so that's an interesting opportunity for a student to live on campus, to work on campus, and to get, of course, a very interesting reduction in the monthly fees as well.
So what I'm hearing is, and for the people that is watching, well, let me say that in Spanish, sorry about that. Lo que dice Darcy es muy interesante, toda esa lista de actividades que puede tener uno viviendo en residencia, y hay estudiantes que inclusive trabajan dentro del campus, para el campus. Entonces imagínense un estudiante que trabaja, vive y estudia en el mismo campus, hace que el costo de residencia baje aún más, y es muy conveniente pues tener todo el paquete completo. Obviamente el trabajo lo consigue el estudiante cuando llega, pero es posible inclusive trabajar dentro del campus. Sorry, Darcy.
Perfect. No, please, thank you. Moving along for to the English requirements, the English language requirements. You can see here that we work with all different types of English language proficiency tests for any and all of our programs at all of the different levels, from the undergraduate to the postgraduate, working with tests like TOEFL, like IELTS, but also others you may know of, Cambridge, Pearson, Duolingo, which is not on this list, but which is another English language test that we accept. And we also work with an English language pathway partner, the Royal Canadian Institute of International Studies, with whom you could study, and in doing so, you could study with them either online and or in person. And you would benefit in the pathway partnership that we have by being able to get a conditional letter of acceptance to Loyalist College, which means that you could submit that conditional letter of acceptance to the Canadian government when you're putting together your study permit application. And that condition would, of course, be eliminated once you complete the English language courses with RCIIS, the partner, and then move right into your studies at Loyalist College.
That is great information, Darcy. I mean, all of it, but about this conditional letter. So if I studied this English program at the Royal Canadian Institute that you mentioned, that would provide me a conditional letter, so yes, I can begin with my study permit process.
Exactly.
Good.
Yeah,
good.
Definitely helps. One thing also, Juan Carlos, that we realize is that, so the benefit of the partnership with the Royal Canadian Institute is one way to get the letter of acceptance. And we know that it helps international students, but even more importantly, and it's good to highlight here, working with you, to state that you, class education in Mexico and of course everywhere else that you work throughout Latin America, is also an excellent way statistically to have the best chances of getting your application approved. And we know that because we work in partnership together, you, class education and Loyalist College, you knowing us, knowing our programs, our application procedures, our English language requirements, you help students to not only apply for free, which is one of the benefits of having our partnership, but you also help them and help their chances significantly improve to be accepted at Loyalist College.
Correct. Thank you, Darcy. Before we talk about the programs you offer at Loyalist, let me just give a quick translation. Hablando de los niveles de inglés requeridos para Loyalist, nos acepta alguna certificación en TOEFL, IELTS, inclusive Duolingo o el CALE, Cambridge. Mucha gente aquí en México está acostumbrada al Cambridge, sin embargo, un TOEFL, IELTS también es muy útil. De hecho, es lo que más se pide. Y bueno, si no se tiene el inglés, hay manera de elevar el nivel de inglés con algunas escuelas. Inclusive dan una carta oferta condicionada. Esto es que si te inscribes.
Juan Carlos, are you there? Okay, everyone. It looks like I'm still live here. Juan Carlos is having some IT difficulties, so let me go ahead and continue to share my screen and bring you back into the presentation. And we'll continue now moving forward from the English language requirements to the different programs that we offer at Loyalist College. Once we get the presentation back up, let's see here. Okay, so moving forward from this slide, let me introduce you to the first of our programs. We have a general arts and sciences program that you could do for a period of either 1 or 2 years that would help you to understand different aspects of really kind of programs in which you may be interested in studying, not only at Loyalist College, but perhaps elsewhere with some of our university transfer partners. We also have very popular programs here in the biosciences area, as you can see in programs like biotechnology, chemical engineering, environmental sciences, and radiation safety. Some of the questions that come up here are, what are the differences between your technician program and your technologist program? And those are differences really in the number of years that you study. So a technician program is a 2-year diploma program, whereas a technologist program is a 3-year advanced diploma program. And so you'll see that in some of our other programs moving forward. Here we can see some programs in the area of building sciences, programs in which we've also had Mexican students or students from elsewhere in Latin America, things like architecture, carpentry, civil and construction, and or survey engineering. So a number of different engineering programs that fall into this category, followed by programs in the area of business. You could do, studying at Loyalist College, a business program that would be either a 2-year diploma, a 3-year advanced diploma, or a 4-year full bachelor degree program. And you can see some of the different specializations that we have in business, from accounting to administration to sales and marketing and finance and analytics. You can also see in this particular list that we have an aesthetics and spa management program that falls under the business category here. Moving along into some of our other programs in areas, for example, like community services. Some of you may be interested in programs like child and youth care, early childhood education, social service worker as a few options in this area. And then moving down on this slide, you can see some of the programs that we have in the health and wellness area. We have some students from different parts of Latin America in our culinary program, but also in these other programs, fitness and health promotion, personal support worker, and our recreation, sport, and leisure program. Moving along to this next slide, as we continue to spend lots of time online during the pandemic or moving beyond the pandemic, perhaps some of these programs might be of interest to those of you who have an interest or a sense of advertising and marketing communications. For those of you who are gamers, perhaps a program like animation, game design, and development could be of interest, along with other programs in this area, from journalism to photojournalism to radio and television, filmmaking, and digital content creation. All programs of particular interest. I mentioned Fernando, who works over in our residence center as well from Mexico. He also happens to be doing our animation and game development program. And then programs in the area of public safety. Let me just highlight one of them, which is quite interesting for many international students, which is our inspections, enforcement, and safety and investigations program. It's something that we have at Loyalist College that relates more closely to an area of interest that some of you may have in criminology or criminal justice. Moving along into our skilled trades programs, we have programs here such as computer systems, electrical engineering, manufacturing engineering, and a new program in mechatronics that was co-developed and designed between Loyalist College and the multinational company Siemens. And so this program not only gives you a 2-year diploma from Loyalist College, but it also will help you to obtain 2 globally recognized mechatronics certifications that will help you certainly get jobs not only in Canada, but elsewhere in companies that are implementing programs and projects using mechatronics. You can see also here that we have some motive power programs and welding. Juan Carlos, are you back with us?
I'm back with you. Don't know what happened with this computer crash, but I'm back thanks to this technology. But keep going, Darcy. I've been listening to you. Estamos hablando acerca de los programas, como ya se pueden haber dado cuenta, certificados, diplomas y ahora posgrados, que va a hablar Darcy. Sorry about that, Darcy, but I'm back.
No problem, no problem. Please, welcome back. So important to note, as Juan Carlos was just saying, all the previous programs about which I've been talking and you've been hearing about have been our undergraduate programs. And this is a slide of our postgraduate programs, postgraduate certificate programs that are either 1 or 2 years in duration in different areas, as you can see here, for example, in advanced filmmaking, digital content creation, to some IT programs such as artificial intelligence and data science, cybersecurity, financial technology. Not to mention as well a popular cannabis applied science postgraduate program, which has some students also from Mexico and elsewhere in Latin America. Aside from those programs, you can see in the bottom half of the list here a number of different business management programs. Our most popular program is the Global Business Management Program, followed by others here for those of you who may be interested in human resources, project management. We have a very popular and highly rated and recognized public relations and event management program. For those of you interested in sports and entertainment, another way to get a specialization in this particular area. And then lastly, a supply chain management and global logistics program that has also been growing in student numbers throughout this pandemic, as we learn more and appreciate better the realities of the global supply chain and the impacts that the pandemic has had on that. Please,
Darcy,
anything you'd like to add?
I find it on this list very interesting programs. For example, the Cannabis Applied Science. I remember maybe 4 years ago, only maybe we could find this program at maybe 1 or 2 colleges, and Loyalist was one of them that began with this program, which is very, very interesting. Is one of a kind. It's not easy to find it anywhere else in the world. So a lot of people is asking what kind of background they need in order to apply for a program like this.
Yes, yeah, good point and good question, Juan Carlos. It is, it is still today not a program that you will find on any college campus. We did correspond with, of course, the legalization of cannabis in Canada, and we're helping the sector to grow with the kind of qualified professionals that it needs in order to help this sector of the economy, this important sector of the economy, continue to grow and add economic vitality to the country. And so the kind of background that you would need for this program would be a scientific background in areas such as any kind of science. Could be biotechnology, could be pharmacy, could be chemical, and we've had students applying also with medical backgrounds as well, because in this particular program, you're also getting the opportunity to do some research and development. So not only to understand cannabis in the applied sciences, in how the extraction works from the plants, but also in the research and development into what are the human impacts of products that are being developed for health, for medical, but also for edibles. And so there are lots of different ways that people could come with different backgrounds into this program and make themselves a unique career path moving forward.
I believe this is a great program. Gente, auditorio, este programa, bueno, veo muchos en esta lista, pero este programa Canadá es de los primeros en crear este tipo de programas relacionados con el cannabis, producción, para uso medicinal, obviamente. Hay mucha investigación, mucho trabajo alrededor del cannabis una vez que se legalizó allá en Canadá. Entonces, todo aquel que tenga un pasado, un historial científico, biológico, químico, puede aplicar para un programa como estos. Un dato interesante, muy importante. Si el college lo ofrece, es porque hay trabajo en esa ciudad. Un college no te va a ofrecer un programa con el que no puedas trabajar en la ciudad donde lo estudiaste. Entonces, hay empresas dentro de Belleville que trabajan con el cannabis, con su desarrollo, con su investigación, y los ingresos para la gente que está certificada en esto son muy altos, son muy, muy atractivos. Entonces, si tienen un historial científico, no lo duden. Darcy, what about the global business management? Is that kind of an MBA? How can you compare that to an MBA? Because a lot of people look for MBAs.
Exactly, it is the college equivalent of the MBA. So
okay.
Important to note that MBAs in Canada you would have to do at the universities, and the college equivalent across Canada would be the global business management. So this is a 2-year postgraduate program, And you don't have to come in with a business background. If you've studied something else at the undergraduate, this could also be your specialization going into the area of business. But let's say that you come in with an architectural degree or an engineering degree or an IT degree or other. This could be the specialization that you need in order to, for example, manage architectural projects or manage IT products and projects, just to give a couple examples in that regard. But also, as you can imagine, a very, very popular and sought after program by international students as well as Canadians.
That is great information, because a lot of people look for MBAs, and this is a great option. So, si están buscando un MBA, esta es una gran opción. Es la equivalencia al MBA que se da en las universidades, pero en este programa son en colleges. Entonces, pero estarían obteniendo lo mismo, y pues son programas que una vez graduándose de ellos, se esperan muy buenos ingresos al trabajar. We could speak more about these programs. I see cybersecurity, which is maybe a couple of years ago or 3 years ago was like the future of studies, and it's now the present. I mean, whoever studies a postgraduate program as cybersecurity has like a job, guaranteed job, and a very attractive job. Yeah, that's it is
exactly. Yeah, you're exactly right, Juan Carlos. This cybersecurity program, along with the financial technology and artificial intelligence and data science programs, are all super, super hot because of the reality of the world, right? We're spending more and more time online. And so issues of cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, the continued evolution of the way that we pay using different financial technologies are just the reality of the world in which we live. And so studying in these kinds of specializations at postgraduate programs will indeed help you to get that job that you're looking for. And again, not critical necessarily that you have backgrounds in IT. What I would do is to invite you to talk more with the colleagues and the counselors at Class Education, but also to go and visit the program web pages where you can watch a video that will explain more about the programs. You can see the courses, the kinds of job opportunities, and also the prerequisites that you would need for these programs, again, if any. So although they may be IT programs, again, you wouldn't necessarily need to come in with any kind of IT or programming background, but of course, looking at the different kinds of courses in each and every one of these programs would help you to know if you would feel comfortable going in that direction, depending, again, on your interests and background in those areas.
Ok, sí. Bueno, hablando de los programas que antes eran del futuro, programas como estos, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, financial technology, son programas del presente ya en Canadá. Canadá quiere que haya gente certificada en estos programas para poder trabajar, incorporarse al área laboral cuanto antes. Por eso Loyalist tiene estos programas al día y con una gran seguridad de que trabajo va a haber para todo el mundo. No duden en aplicar para alguno de estos programas. Darcy, I could spend more and more minutes talking about each one of these. I really love talking about programs, but exactly. People are asking about costs and fees.
Of course, yes.
Go ahead. Thank you.
Sure. What's important to note here is that these are the costs per year, and this will be the cost that people are interested in knowing, right? The 16,500 Canadian per year is what a student would be paying to study in any of the programs that we have been discussing in the previous slides. So whether you're doing postgraduate or undergraduate, it's going to be this same cost, and this cost, of course, as you can see, covers your academic tuition, covers your student ancillary fees, along with your international student health insurance.
Ok, estamos viendo aquí los costos por año, que son 2 semestres, 16,500, digo cerrando números, 16,500, que incluye los ancillary fees, que son tarifas varias, digámoslo así, pero incluyen muchos servicios, servicios hasta de uso de gimnasios, uso de muchas instalaciones dentro del college, que las tienen todas, y es un costo muy bajo. Cuando llegan ahí, ven todas las instalaciones, dicen, ¿por qué pague tan poquito? Seguro de gastos médicos, como estudiante hay que tenerlo y ya viene incluido en ese total. Entonces, es un costo muy atractivo que para estudiar en Loyalist College, cuando ves que todo esto está incluido. Darcy, a lot of people is asking if there's some kind of, how do you call it? Not scholarship, but some...
Yes, some becas.
Yeah, that's the word.
Yes, yes. Yeah, good question as well. The becas, we have 4, and I didn't talk more about that on that particular slide, but we have athletic scholarships to which students can apply from home. We have academic scholarships to which students will be eligible after they apply and get accepted to the program. And as I was mentioning earlier as well, we have some on-residence international student scholarships to help invite students to have that on-campus student resident experience as well. And so I'll be happy to share the scholarship page with you once I stop sharing the screen. And of course, students can learn more by going to that scholarship page, by talking with you as well at Class Education to understand better those opportunities.
Okay, well, questions are starting to get here. Thank you for that information. So it's academic or athletic scholarships, right?
Exactly. And one last point here, the fees in the table, of course, do not cover the cost of living, right? Housing, textbooks, transportation, food. And so we estimate that a student would need approximately another $1,000 per month in order to cover those costs.
Including housing?
Yes.
Okay, good. And you're talking about the Loyalist residents?
Yes, in particular, and just for comparative purposes as well, because we know that a lot of international students are choosing to come to Canada, not only because of the quality of the education, but also because of the immigration opportunity, because of the ability for international students to come and study and work. I did some calculations on what students could earn in a student job. And as you can see here, to make this comparison, so your student tuition would be $16,500 per year. Working in Canada, as you're allowed to do as a student, part-time while you're studying and then full-time when you're not studying, would allow you to earn anywhere between $19,000 to $20,000 per year. And that's a student job on campus or in a Starbucks off campus, for example. If you come in with prior education degree with more work experience, you could, of course, imagine to get a better job making more money.
I need to translate that.
Please.
Como ustedes saben, al invertir en educación pública en Canadá les da beneficios como lo son los que acaba de mencionar Darcy: trabajo mientras están estudiando, trabajo de medio tiempo en una empresa de servicios. Pero los cálculos que ha hecho Darcy, arrojan que en un año un estudiante puede estar ganando en un trabajo dentro del campus, ¿no? Nada grande, no me refiero a nada especializado, sino un servicio dentro del campus, pueden estar ganando entre 18, 19 mil dólares, 20 mil dólares en un año. Y estamos hablando de un trabajo en una cafetería hasta de Starbucks, afuera del campus. O sea, un trabajo muy sencillo en el que pueden hacer este dinero como estudiante, y si toman en cuenta que el costo de vida, alimentación, transporte, recordemos que el transporte no se usa tanto en Belleville si viven dentro del alojamiento de Belleville, digo de Loyalist, más el alojamiento, pueden estar gastando unos $1,000 al mes, incluyendo su alimentación. Entonces, si hacen el cálculo, salen con un extrita de dinero al final del año. Como decimos en México, bajita la mano, 19 mil, 20 mil dólares en un año como estudiante. Imagínense lo que pueden ganar habiendo egresado de Loyalist College. Great information, Darcy.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Juan Carlos. We look forward, of course, to welcoming any and all of you who are here with us this evening to Loyalist College, and are happy to answer any questions that people might have.
Wow, it's been already an hour, Darcy. It's already been an hour. I think I got carried away, sorry. And sorry about people that's been trying to ask questions. I saw a question earlier that someone was asking, when is the right time to apply? So that means that you may have to talk about some intakes and what's the best moment to apply for certain intake.
Good. Yeah, good question. We have intakes, the biggest intake, of course, in September, but we also have intakes in January and May. So the May semester, of course, is soon to start, but we are still accepting for some programs applications for September.
September this year.
September of this year, yeah. We know that that students, of course, need time to submit their applications, to get the acceptance letter, etc. So please know that we work very hard in order to get you your acceptance letters within 2 to 4 days. So working with you at Class Education, if you have an interest in a program at Loyalist College, we urge you to get your application in as soon as possible. We promise to get back to you quickly so that you also have time working with Class Education to submit your study permit application as well and get that visa processing going.
What if someone had wanted to apply for next September? When did those applications begin? The application process can begin.
Yes. So we have, for example, we're still open for some programs for this September. We've just opened up recently accepting applications for the January intake.
Okay.
Yes, and for May of 2023 and September of 2023, we won't open those applications until October, usually the last couple of weeks in October.
Ok, si quieren aplicar para septiembre este año, se puede, pero hay que hacerlo ya. Es súper necesario porque hay muchas cosas que hacer. Ya están recibiendo aplicaciones para enero 2023 y aplicaciones para mayo, septiembre de 2023 aún no abren. Sin embargo, se puede empezar con Class Education, metiendo documentación, podemos ganarle tiempo al tiempo. Pero si te quieres ir en septiembre de 2022, hay que empezar ya. Ok, por ahí tenemos otra pregunta. Gracias, Darcy. ¿Puedo irme con mi familia? You get that?
Yes, of course, it's possible. Yes, in Canada, one of the other benefits of coming to study in Canada is that you are allowed to come with your family. You would get a study permit, study visa. Your partner would benefit from the opportunity to come on a work visa, and depending the ages of your children would be able to benefit from either going into the public education system and or the private education system.
¿O beneficio más de invertir en educación pública en Canadá? La respuesta es sí, si te puedes ir con tu familia, esposa, hijos, esposa, pareja, esposo, pareja, hijos, y todos tienen beneficios. Como estudiante trabajas medio tiempo, como pareja puedes trabajar tiempo completo y los hijos tienen educación pública gratuita por todo el tiempo que estén en Canadá hasta que terminen el bachillerato, que es el high school allá. Grandes beneficios para familias y si se dieron cuenta por la plática inicial, Belleville es un lugar excelente para familias, por la seguridad, por la tranquilidad, es un lugar donde quieren que sus hijos crezcan, sinceramente. Thank you, Darcy.
Yes, please.
Tenemos otra pregunta por acá. Planes de financiamiento. I'll get this, Darcy. Sí, okay. Sí, planes de financiamiento. De hecho, es una herramienta muy efectiva para la gente que quiere un proyecto como estos, estudiar en educación pública de nivel superior. Y sobre todo si van con familias. Entonces, los planes de financiamiento nos ayudan a administrar el dinero, a evitar una descapitalización, a organizar los pagos. Siempre les decimos en nuestras asesorías, si contamos con financiamiento, que trabajamos con empresas muy efectivas para esto, si contamos con un financiamiento y contamos con tiempo, es decir, un año y medio, estos programas realmente son fáciles de alcanzar sin recurrir a una descapitalización agresiva. Se puede aplicar para el programa, se puede aplicar para el permiso de estudios, gracias a ese financiamiento y salir muy bien librado y asegurar el estudio en Canadá, asegurar los beneficios en Canadá y irme yo como estudiante o yo con mi familia y gozar de todos estos beneficios. Sí, acérquense a su asesor de Class Education, ellos nos brindan toda la información para que el financiamiento sea parte integral del proyecto. Aquí está la información del financiamiento, no lo había visto, estaba viendo la lente. El proceso es rápido y sencillo, los requisitos son importantes, pero no son tantos requisitos. Se solicita desde el 20% del total de tu programa hasta el 100% del costo total, plazos de 6 hasta 5 años para pagar. O sea, muchas veces egresas del programa y con el trabajo que obtienes en tu Postgraduate Work Permit, en donde ganas 35, 40 mil dólares al año en Belleville, acabas de pagar tu financiamiento sin programa. Te puedes ir habiendo pagado el programa, pero con el financiamiento corriendo y lo puedes liquidar en cuanto llegue tu primer recibo de trabajo en esa etapa. Se requiere un estudio socioeconómico. Bueno, vieron los requisitos, no es ningún problema. Aquí tenemos ejemplos, dos tipos de ejemplos, cuando las mensualidades son iguales, si pidieras el 100% del costo o si pidieras el 50%, al plazo indicado de 24 o 36 meses o por mensualidades escalonadas, si pides el 100%, el 70% o el 50%, ¿cómo serían tus pagos mes con mes? Vemos que hay una etapa donde pagas la tarifa es baja, bueno, la mensualidad es baja, pero a partir de cierto mes, cuando ya estás en Canadá, cuando ya estás trabajando en Canadá, la mensualidad es más alta, pero porque ya estás teniendo ingresos en Canadá. Algunos de los detalles que les puedo dar de los financiamientos, acérquense, como les digo, y pregunta, ¿el salario me alcanza para mis gastos y los de mi familia? Ya lo decía Darcy, un trabajo en una cafetería dentro del campus o allá afuera en un Starbucks te puede dar 19 mil, 20 mil dólares en un año, cuando al mes te puedes estar gastando 1,500 dólares por mes si llevas a tu familia. What about the cost for a family? That means as a family, you get to live inside a Loyalist residence, perhaps need to find your own place. But how much would that cost? Let's say mom, dad, and one or two kids.
What's important to remember about the example that I calculated and that you just mentioned is that is the salary of a student and a student's salary. So someone, of course, coming with a family likely is going to be a little bit older, probably with a prior degree, with more work experience, and so able to get a better job, making more money, making more than the 19 to 20,000 per year. And important to remember that coming with a family, especially with the opportunity of having the spouse be able to get a work visa, means that that person is going to be able to work full time, or or still let's say part-time, full-time mix, depending the age of the children. And so working together in that kind of family scenario, you're going to have two incomes coming into the household. Of course, yes, the cost to get a bigger place, not a student residence, will be higher. But you could say, on average, the house, the accommodation, let's say for a small family with one or two children, would be anywhere from from 1,000 to 1,500 to 2,000, depending the kind of size you're looking for, the kind of luxury you're looking for. But you could make an estimate somewhere in that area already.
Correct, Darcy, thank you for that. Entonces la respuesta es sí, sí alcanza para la familia, porque no olviden que como estudiante tienes derecho a trabajar, pero tu pareja, esposa, esposo, también tiene derecho a trabajar y tiempo completo. Entonces sí, el costo se eleva, el costo de vida para una familia de 4 personas, $1,500 a lo mejor, pero acá los dos trabajan y la educación para los niños es gratuita. Entonces, hasta mejor irse con familia, es mi opinión, ¿verdad? Montserrat Velasco Ávila, ¿qué necesito hacer para irme con mi mamá y estudiar yo? Darcy.
Let's see, can you translate that one for me?
Montserrat is asking, is it possible for her to take her mom and being her the one who studies? I mean, Montserrat. Can she bring her mom with her?
That's a good question. I'm not an immigration specialist, and so don't know the answers quite simply to that. We do have an immigration specialist who's part of our team in international at Loyalist College. So Montserrat, I'm sorry, I don't know how to answer that more specifically, but if you're interested to know, please send a message to Class Education. They can share that message with me, and we can get you that response tomorrow. No problem.
Thank you, Darcy. I'll let her know what we know so far. Montserrat, tú como estudiante puedes ir y tener los beneficios del trabajo. Los beneficios se derraman hacia una pareja e hijos, no para familiares de arriba, como puede ser mamá o papá. Si quisieras traer a tu mamá, lo puedes hacer. Sin embargo, no hay beneficios migratorios para tu mamá, no hay beneficios laborales para tu mamá, y tendría que entrar como turista, y su estancia tendría que ser más limitada. Puede entrar, salir, sí, pero no se puede quedar todo el tiempo sin salir de Canadá. Pero, como te digo, llena el formato, nos ponemos en contacto contigo y te explicamos más acerca de cómo pudieras hacer para llevar a tu mamá contigo. ¿Ok? Thank you, Darcy. Tenemos más preguntas por aquí. ¿No? Perdón, si muevo mucho la cámara. I'm sorry if I'm moving the camera so much, but these are extreme measures for the problem we had earlier.
No problem.
Darcy, ¿cómo se hace? No, don't know who this is, who's asking. ¿Cómo se hace el pago de mi programa? ¿Mensual por semestre?
Por semestre.
Por semestre. La respuesta es por semestre. Como mencioné hace un momento con lo de los financiamientos, si yo obtengo un financiamiento y tengo tiempo, un año, pues entonces se puede hacer un plan de pagos. Pero Loyalist nos va a pedir al menos el primer semestre pagado para poder continuar con todo el de ingreso, de expedición de carta de aceptación para nosotros poder tramitar la visa. Es por semestre. Sin embargo, también como estrategia, siempre recomendamos hacer el primer año, asegurar el primer año de preferencia. Si no se puede, Loyalist no nos va a pedir el primer año, nos va a pedir el semestre. Right? Tenemos más preguntas por aquí. Well, it's been an hour and 15 minutes. Let's take a couple of questions more. Darcy, you might be tired.
Okay.
What time is it in Canada right now?
How about we do two more questions and then
okay. Siempre voy a necesitar visa de estudios. Siempre voy a necesitar visa de estudios. Sí, la respuesta es sí. Si quieres estudiar en un college público, en este caso Loyalist, sí vas a necesitar visa de estudios. No puedes entrar a Canadá, pero no como estudiante. Como turista, pero no te va a permitir estudiar. Entonces, sí hay que tramitar el permiso de estudios. Right? Listos. ¿Quién va a ser la última pregunta de la noche? ¿Manejan programas de Co-op? ¿Cómo funcionan y cuáles son los salarios promedios? Bueno, ya hablamos un poquito de los salarios, pero acerca de los programas de Co-op, Darcy, what can you tell us about the Co-op program?
Yeah, good question. It's important to note that the majority of our programs have either what we call co-ops or work placement opportunities that are designed into them that take place in the last semester, either of the second and or third year of the program. And so those are opportunities that will allow you to to work in partnership with a company either in the private sector, perhaps someone in the public sector, or an NGO that is related to your area of study. And so salaries in that regard are going to be different depending on the type of program in which you're studying and, of course, the type of organization with whom you're working. But again, please know that, again, the large majority of our programs have those kinds of opportunities. When you go to the program page, click down on courses, go into the last semester of your program, and you'll see co-op, work experience, or sometimes applied project. And that way you'll know what your program has in that specific regard.
Ok, entonces sí hay programas que manejan el co-op y solamente hay que verlos. Hay que ver cuál tiene el periodo de co-op y para poder tomar tu decisión acerca del programa que quieres estudiar. Muy bien, Darcy. I think we can call this a night.
Please, yes.
Yeah, you need to rest. What time did you say it was in Belleville?
We are 10:20 here.
10:20, no. Time to go to sleep.
Yes.
Well, we have another one coming in, Darcy. Víctor Pérez, si soy licenciado en enfermería, ¿puedo aplicar a enfermería saliendo del curso? Nurse. Could he apply for nurse?
Unfortunately, the nursing programs are not available to international students at Loyalist College. No, I'm sorry.
Okay, Víctor, lamentablemente este programa no está abierto para internacionales, pero puedes aplicar para el del cannabis sin problema y te va a ir muy bien también.
Exactly.
Right, Darcy?
Yes.
Muy bien. Muchas gracias, Darcy. No sé si la producción me va a poner alguna información que quiera incluir antes de cerrar el programa.
No, again, thank you. Thank everyone here for the opportunity to participate. And again, we thank you for your time, your attention, and the partnership, of course, with you at Class Education. And we look forward to welcoming more and more students from Mexico, from throughout Latin America, to Loyalist College in Canada. Gracias.
Gracias a ti, Darcy. It's been a pleasure. You're very patient and you're very always willing to help us, and we appreciate that. So we hope we have a lot of applications for Loyalist. I hope people realize what what a great opportunity, what a great option this college is. And we hope you hear from us, from our students soon enough. And that's it. I wish you well. I wish that you have a pleasant night. Y a todo nuestro auditorio les agradecemos muchísimo su participación. Esperamos que toda la información les haya quedado clara. Si les faltó más, quieran, por favor, acérquense, llenen esa forma y nosotros nos ponemos en contacto con ustedes. Están entrando muchas aplicaciones, están habiendo muchas llamadas, porque recuerden, no nada más México está aplicando, están aplicando en Sudamérica, están aplicando desde Europa, están aplicando desde Asia. Gente en todo el mundo está aplicando, entonces no podemos permitirnos dar el lujo de perder tiempo. Hay que tomar la decisión y Loyalist es una gran opción para ustedes. Thank you so much, Darcy.
Excelente. Thank you again.
Thank you, my friend. Buenas noches. Gracias a todos. Buenas noches.
Yo atribuiría el éxito de Class Education básicamente a 3 cosas. Primero, la gran experiencia que tenemos en el mercado, que son más de 10,000 alumnos que hemos enviado al extranjero a través de los 27 años de experiencia.
Pues conformamos un equipo responsable, amigable.
Saber que la educación siempre trae grandes beneficios.
Se siente muy satisfactorio formar parte de cambiar la vida de una persona.
Class Education ha demostrado que en tiempos retadores, cuando se trabaja en equipo y con un gran liderazgo, se pueden lograr cosas muy grandes.
El negocio de Class Education claramente es apoyar a la gente para ir a estudiar en el extranjero, pero el verdadero impacto de lo que hacemos es literalmente cambiar la vida de la gente.
Me apasiona el hecho de ver las caras, que ahorita es por Zoom, pero es el hablar con los estudiantes o con los papás y que al final me digan, al final de esa llamada que me digan, me aclaraste todas mis dudas.
Lo más satisfactorio es cuando pues un estudiante te dice gracias.
Y el empatizar con los papás de yo he mandado a mis hijas, te entiendo como papá, y saber qué es lo que están buscando para sus hijos. Creo que eso fue el match perfecto que me hizo quedarme en clase.
Lo que diferencia el equipo de Class Education para mí es el hecho que tenemos un gran compromiso hacia el servicio.
Una de las cosas que más me gusta de estar en Class Education es que las crisis que otros ven, nosotros los vemos siempre como áreas de oportunidad.
Es algo súper enriquecedor. Si bien pues todos tenemos un trabajo, una labor, aquí es el trabajo de cumplir sueños.
Trabajando con el equipo de Class Education me siento súper bien en el día a día porque todos somos individuos que buscamos lo mismo, que es hacer crecer a nuestros estudiantes.
Me sigue emocionando, me sigue dando una emoción increíble cuando sale su visa, cuando ya tiene su vuelo, cuando le damos la plática de salida.
Emocionados, te bendicen y te dan las gracias por haberles ayudado a hacer su trámite, por haber cumplido su sueño.
Con Customer Experience lo que queremos lograr es no solamente que se quede la guía en el proceso desde que tú nos contactas hasta que tomes el avión, sino que vayan más allá y que ya que estás en la escuela, si tienes algún problema, dudas que puedes tener estando ahí en la escuela, que nos busques, que nosotros te ayudamos a tratar de resolver todo eso.
Si alguien necesita apoyo de otro departamento, nos apoyamos. Ese es el objetivo de clase, porque necesitamos cambiar una vida de una persona.
Pero creo que cuando trabajas en equipo y escuchas a tu gente, puedes reinventarte, que fue lo que hicimos en este caso. Nos reinventamos, nos fuimos a la parte online.
Hemos estado innovando a raíz de la pandemia, todo el tema de mayor exposición en redes, el tema de estar presentes en los webinars.
Yo describiría Class Education en 3 palabras: pasión, experiencia y seguridad.
Amistad significa compañerismo y significa sueños.
Calidad, experiencia y cambio.
Profesionalismo, compañerismo, es una familia.
Líder en el mercado, es confiable y sobre todo seguro.
Class Education es respaldo, experiencia y pasión por servir.
En Class Education todos estamos conscientes de la importancia que es hacer realidad los sueños de las personas.
Así es que no lo dudes, hazlo con clase.
Hazlo con Class.
Hazlo con clase.
Hazlo
Con clase.
Hazlo con Class.